We've got flags and banners, and if you mind your manners, we might even get to standards and what they represent. So just take my boss's hand, and we'll both try to understand how this vexillogic podcast could be flagged for content. Flag for content. Woo! What's up, Vex Heads, and welcome to a very special episode of Flagged for Content. We had the Reverend Doctor himself, Mr. Billy Wayne Davis, in the studio to talk about a flag that's very close to him, geographically. We were on a tight schedule, and I'm sure you are too, so I won't bore you with all the usual extracurriculars up top. Instead, let's get straight into the episode and hear what Billy Wayne has to say about the flag of Los Angeles. We have got another dream guest for y'all this week. You know him from his special out the 17th of this month. You know him from Borat 2, and you know him from his podcast Grown Local. It's the Reverend Dr. Billy Wayne Davis.
Pew, 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 pew. Air horns.
Thanks. That saves me time in post-production. I don't have to add them.
Yeah, my pleasure.
How's it going, Billy Wayne?
I'm living the dream out here in California.
That's what it looks like, man. I've been seeing your Instagram stuff out on the beach, and
yeah, like this weekend I was in the Redwoods doing shows, and then probably this weekend I'm going to go swim in the ocean if I can, if the weather's. I have a wetsuit, so I can just go now. And
right on. Yeah, that does help things. Down there, especially. in my experience.
I think that's what people don't realize about Southern California is like it's the Pacific, so it's still cold when it's hot. So
Isn't it like unseasonably cold right now? But for them, it's like that's like 50 something.
I mean, it rained the last couple of days, so people kind of wig out, and then I'm in full sweats, so it's like 50 degrees. But yeah, people wear they'll wear their North Face and stuff.
Fair enough.
But to be fair, I mean, this is a flag podcast, so you understand region and cultures and all that, where it's the desert, and people don't really realize that that's what Los Angeles is, a desert climate. So it'll drop 15 to 20 degrees between night and day.
Yeah.
And just anywhere, that's your body's going to be like, I should put on a jacket.
Right. Yeah.
So people are like, oh, it's only 80 degrees. I'm like, yeah, but it was 100 today. So it dropped 20 degrees. So your body's just like, hey. So
yeah, makes sense. It's unseasonably hot over here in Tennessee, where you are from, like myself. So
what city?
I'm from Knoxville, but I'm in Chattanooga right now.
That's a good move. I
agree.
What high school?
I went to Bearden.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Did y'all play us? We probably played y'all at some point.
We did, I think early in my high school career. And I have a good friend who went to Bearden. He lives in Oregon now. His name's Ian. He played basketball at Bearden. So
yeah, I don't know. Probably like a few years ahead of me. And I didn't really hang around with the basketball
I know that I liked your school was involved. So I remember the student body was into sports. Anytime we played you guys, I was like, man, this is kind of fun. You guys really got into it. So
we got at various times we got too into it. We had our own the guy who won most school spirit or whatever the year, he was a year older than me. He and a lot of his buddies went and graffitied and tagged up our stadium, pretending to be the team that we were playing that week, saying Bearden sucks, West rules, fuck y'all. and he got caught.
That's some East Tennessee behavior right there. That is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not quite Saturdays down south, but Fridays down south, I guess. It's pretty typical.
Well, it moves right into Saturdays.
Oh yeah. That same energy stays.
Just a different level up. Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
Well, yeah, like we were talking about off air, we are a little bit short on time, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. And as you were mentioning, you're in Los Angeles right now, or thereabouts anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The first flag that I actually wanted to go over with you is the flag of Los Angeles. And I don't know if you can get it, but I've dropped it into the chat here. I don't know
Let
why
me
it
see.
doesn't just show up as the image. But I was going to say,
Oh, cool.
I was actually going to ask if you were familiar with this flag or not.
No, I just opened it. It's rad.
You like that?
I've seen. I mean, I see the crest you see all the time.
Okay,
Like the
yeah.
crest is just around. Like that's in buildings, and I think it may be on cop cars or a similar one. But
That
yeah,
makes
the
sense.
crest I'm very similar. But that flag, those colors are dope.
The colors are
It's
dope, right? Like it's okay. So for a little background, it is nicknamed the Fiesta flag.
that makes sense. It does. I was gonna say it's got like a fun Mexican vibe to it.
Yeah,
Not that the regular Mexicans aren't fun. I'm just saying the flag has a more serious tone, and these have it's very accurate. I would agree.
yeah, the little like waves on it are almost kind of like motion or something. It implies like dancing or something like lively, I would say.
Yes, and I live in a working class Mexican neighborhood, which I fit right in. It has not been a problem. I love the people, and I already like the Dodgers and the Raiders, so that really helped. But I will also say, it's they party. It's
Yeah.
like fiesta, like a fiesta, and it goes deep into the night, and they have a band. And I'm not just talking about like one house.
Right.
It's fun. And they're very
When
it's just like it reminded me of it's just like Tennessee is what it reminded me of. Like it's just like working class families, and it doesn't matter
yeah.
where.
When you
It's
say
any
band, I assume
families.
it's mariachi-esque.
Sometimes it depends on where the family's from. That's what I've learned. Like a lot of like where we're from is like, oh, it's like a little German music, or they're like, this is Guatemala. It's like that kind of stuff. So it's like I learned a lot. I'm learning a lot down here. I love it.
Either way, lots of accordion probably between like German and like South American and Central American stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun. It's some jams. Yeah,
I'm a fan. Honestly, this flag even kind of looks like an accordion. That like yellow stripe in the middle looks like it could like fold down on itself and
it's
like
a
go. But yeah, like we don't have to go too into the history, but one thing you said does ring true. It's kind of based on the Mexican flag. So you
uh-huh.
know the Mexican is green, white, and red. This is green, yellow, red. So a little bit different. It harkens to that, and it harkens back to Spain, which is like red, yellow, red. And so, you know, both Spain and Mexico at different times owned where LA is right now. So they kind of left their mark and, you know,
Yeah,
is represented on the flag. So, yeah, this one is a very,
I can say that Mexico's probably winning now
yeah,
more than
yeah,
Spain.
yeah, I think
So
so. But
yeah,
yeah, like if you can see, like, I don't know how big it is on your screen. If you got it like fairly big, you can see the eagle with the snake in its mouth
yeah.
on the
No,
bottom
that's
left. That's from the Mexican flag. And then you know where the bear and the star is from. That's California. The US one is obvious. And then the bottom right one is Spain.
ah.
And yeah,
So the snake in the that's dope. I like a bird clearing the snake, and then that's the the bear is the California flag.
yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like you know, like the Texas has like, you know, six flags over Texas because there's been six flags that flew over it. This is kind of like LA's version of that. Yeah, I know. This is kind of like LA's version of that, where it's like these are the four places that we've been in or that have owned us or whatever. And they represent them on there. And then they threw in some double meaning. The colors also represent, in addition to that, the green is for olive trees, which there's also an olive branch because they just like aren't subtle.
Sure.
The orange, orange, if you want to call it that, the yellow gold in the middle is for orange groves.
Okay.
And the red is for vineyards.
I mean, I feel like they're the
Are there vineyards in LA? Because I feel like that's more of like a NorCal thing, or like, I don't know.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, there's not. I'm trying to think. There's not really vineyards. There might have been. Now, where I live, this is funny. In the neighborhood I live in, there is a. It looks like an old, like a old it's an old plantation looking house. It looks like a fraternity house is what it looks like. It like on this at the bottom of this hill, and we live in like the as the valley goes down to the
Uh-huh.
river, and it just it sticks out like a sore thumb. And I've always my wife and I have always laughed at it because I was like, look at the Sigma Chi house over here, and
Yeah.
because she's from North Carolina,
Right.
and and then I saw on this Instagram account called like LA Explained or something. They show a lot of old pictures and things like that. And our neighborhood was just orange groves and lemon and orange like fruit trees. And
Right,
we have
yeah.
2 dope lemon trees in our backyard. But it was just all fields. And then this plantation house was sitting there. And I was like, oh, it is what we thought. But I think they probably paid people, which is different than where we came from. But it was
Yes.
like we were like, oh, that's interesting. So they're fixing it up, and I think they got some money from historical society and things like that. But that is
Right.
so
Yeah, that's dope. I'm gonna have to look that up after this.
but yeah, that makes sense. And where I live is kind of, they call it the cradle of Los Angeles because it's where these creeks, but they called them rivers, but they were creeks, kind of came together, and then downtown's right there. But it was Spanish people and then Mexican people, but it was
Yeah.
like they were different tribes, and that's all.
LA is dying to have anything called a river, it sounds like.
I mean, when it's like the river, it's the desert. So when it rains, we have quite a big river, and then it goes away real fast.
Fair.
So
The only
yeah,
experience I have with like I've having never been to LA, the only experience I have is from like GTA, just like driving around in the little,
it's pretty
you know,
accurate actually.
yeah,
That
yeah.
I have when my friends come and visit, it is one of the things they say is like, this is like just like Grand Theft, and I was like, yeah, they did a real good job.
Yeah, like, hey, can we go to the military base and get a jet? Like, is that still on the table or no? Probably not.
You can.
Um, yeah, yeah, you can. It's not probably
They
recommended.
won't. They will not like it, but
No,
you can.
they give you weird looks and then some. Another funny thing that I came up when researching this flag, which by the way, it dates from 1931, so it's one of the not oldest, but kind of on the older side of city flags. And the same day that it became official, which was July 22nd of that year, the city's Municipal Art Commission spoke out, arguing that it was a work of art that required their attention and approval under the city charter. Now, right after that, the city attorney, Erwin Werner, disagreed and wrote back declaring that the official flag of the city of LA does not come within the definition of works of art. So we're back in 1931 and they're talking about what is art? Is this art? Can we classify it as such?
That's
I
some
don't know.
LA. That's well, what they're doing is like, can we get around some taxes for
Actually, yeah, I was
this?
gonna say it's probably a money talks thing in that case.
Yeah, that's. I mean, in LA is very much like, whose IP is this? Whose international? Whose intellectual property? It's probably
Yeah.
that's some early, like, whose idea and who created it. That's, which is great. Like, I'm not against that,
Sure.
because if without all that, my nonsense wouldn't make me money.
I was gonna
So
say as creators, yeah, we do kind of lean on that a little bit. Yeah.
there is a, like, yeah, man, this is my idea.
Yeah. It is bizarre because like generally in city flags and like even really state flags, like nobody owns the IP. It's like open, so anybody can make it because they want to encourage people to have it, and in flags cases like fly it and all that. But yeah, I was gonna ask. So you said already, which is kind of an indication that this is the first time you've seen this, or maybe not the first time ever, but or maybe it is.
I mean, like I said, the crest very familiar. You see it a lot. The state flag you see a lot.
Oh sure.
Uh, I don't because that flag's so cool looking. It's got a vague Rastafarian vibe to it too,
Yes. Yeah.
like vague, like just vague, not like strong, but like, huh, that's why I think I would have noticed it in any building walking around. I'd been like, what
Yeah.
in the hell? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I've been to some I've had to do a couple like municipal court things,
Right.
like not for anything terrible, just like normal life stuff where you have to go to the courthouse and do some stuff. But uh, so I would have for sure, because I love all those old building. You know what I mean? Even when you're
Yes.
doing that stuff,
Yeah,
because you
likewise.
have to wait and stuff. So I'm always just like, huh, this is. There was a couple of times I was like, I wonder if OJ was in this part. You know what I mean? Like all that, because it's LA, because there's like a lot of famous.
Yeah, a lot of
And
famous
because
shitbags
every
and
now and then
court
you'll be
cases.
somewhere, you're like, man, this is familiar, and then I'll look up why it was familiar. I'm like, oh, it wasn't from a movie; it was from something awful.
Right.
You're like, oh, that's not good. But I would so remember. Sorry, it was a long way to say. Like, I would have remembered seeing that flag. I do now. I'll look out for it, but it would have
Yeah.
just, I've, especially because the middle, that middle color and the waves.
Yeah, the
I just
waves are the most distinctive part.
It was just like, I think that's why when you showed it to me, that's why I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
like it's weird. I haven't seen that because everything else I've seen so much.
Yeah, I mean, we talk sometimes on the show about like good and bad city flags, and like when a city flag is really good, then it's not just on municipal buildings. It's like a lot of people will buy it and fly it, you know.
Yeah.
When it's
The
worse, like
Texas flag is dope.
the Texas
And
flag, yeah,
that's why people fly it. I'm like, because it looks cool. Yo, that's
exactly.
mostly, yeah.
The Tennessee
Mhm.
one, like New Mexico, Colorado, yeah, a bunch of these.
Oh, New Mexico's is dope.
Yeah, New Mexico won like some. I think it was like the North American Vexillologic Association, which is like study of flags. They did like a contest or not contest, but like just a voting thing. What's the best flag in North America, state-wise? Or I think Canada was there with like provinces, and New Mexico won hands
Alaska's
down.
got a cool one too.
Alaska's is dope. Yeah, I actually worked the local election yesterday. I try and like do that every chance I get, and I was keeping a little tally of like state flags and not even like just the flag, but like symbols. Like if it's
Uh
just the
huh.
Tennessee TriStar or whatever. And there were two Alaskas. Two people came in with like an Alaska, the stars on
Yeah,
the
the
blue
Big Dipper.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was surprised because I that one I don't see as much, but Tennessee, I
It's a
saw a
great
lot
one
of.
though.
Obviously, we're in Tennessee, so you're going to see that. I even counted
Johnny
it.
Johnny Knoxville's got the TriStar tattoo on his under his wrist. I've
I
noticed once.
know I don't have any ink, but like I'm thinking, if I did, that would be up there on the list for sure.
I like the cannabis leaves instead of the stars. I think they'll really like that.
Yeah, dude, this shirt is dope. But this is from a local place here in Chattanooga called Farm to Med. Actually, I don't know
Hmm.
how local. It might be, regional. It might be in a few other places in Tennessee, North Carolina. But anyway,
That's
yeah,
local. That is local.
yeah, that's local. Honestly, my girlfriend and I were in Tennessee, Georgia, and North Carolina in like the span of an hour over the weekend because we were just at a
You're
cabin
on
having
one.
fun.
You're probably just one road. You're on one road.
Honestly, it was. It was. It was one road. I love that part of the country, really. But yeah, so yeah, I was just curious, like how often you saw it because, in my opinion, this is like a almost great flag. I do like it. I the only thing I would
The
change is like
problem
take
is
the
like
seal out.
I like the seal. I think that's important because it's all over LA. Because that
Mm-hmm.
makes it very. I mean, that's what made me realize. Oh yeah, that is. And I, if it didn't have that, I would have been like, I don't know what this is.
Right, that's the
But
part that
that,
you recognize. Yeah.
yes, because it's like I said, it's on everything. Like it's on the seal. They're how the gold emblem on buildings, and they put the seal. Like Tennessee does that on a lot of state buildings.
Yeah.
Uh, it's not just Tennessee does that, but like that flag now, I mean I really want to go downtown this weekend and see if I can find it anywhere because it's like
Man, yeah, this will come out behind the scenes look here, but this will come out next Wednesday. So like, yeah, if you're downtown, man, snap a few pics, send them my way if you don't mind.
I will be looking for it. That is, I yeah, I know we've worked hard to make this one happen,
I'll
this
put it in the show
podcast,
notes.
and this is so I will. This is awesome that it was immediately like, look at this flag you've never seen, right? That
Yeah.
is dope.
I had a few options because I was gonna like I'll kind of I know we're hurrying along here, but like I had a few options considering the grown local, show and everything. I had like Amsterdam is on the list, Oregon, LA, Oklahoma, because Oklahoma's literally has a peace pipe on it.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
if
one
you've.
I've noticed that one a long time ago. When
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
first time I played like Oklahoma City or Tulsa.
yep. Oh,
Because the
Tulsa's flag
flag
is sick.
it's cool because it does have like a lot of native stuff where I was like, that's kind of rude. Uh
Its nickname is Native America's flag, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
oh, that's
That
not
nickname.
cool.
No.
Not cool. But
It
yeah, I
does.
did notice. I was like, hey, it's got a pipe on it. That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, that was pretty
Because I
cool.
remember making a joke about that because they had terrible the first, this was years and years ago. The first time I played Oklahoma, they had terrible weed, and I remember being like, "You guys have a pipe on your flag," and they were all like, "Hey, we do. That's funny." I'm like, that's
It's the kind of thing that like I feel like you could go for a long time without noticing, but then once you see it, that's going to be like all you connect to it at that point.
it was. You're right. It was fun to watch the crowd every show just be like, "Yeah, you're like, yeah, it's messed up, right?" That's like,
I never really thought of that.
also look into how you treated those natives that you love to brag about.
Yeah, while you're reflecting on the flag, maybe reflect a little more. Maybe play that out some. But yeah, no, I know we've got to wrap up like already.
I'm the dad, and then we're promoting the record, so
It's okay, man.
I can't hang out as long as I want to.
It's all
And then,
right,
but I do want to come back and can we talk about more flags because I do love this. I do
dude.
love it.
I don't know, man. No, dude, I would love to have you on again.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Say no.
Just a yeah, just a brief like little funny note that something I just kind of thought of is between the time when we scheduled this and we actually got to record it, the UK had an entire prime minister come and go.
That's a good point. They're having a rough time right now.
They're gonna have another one by the time this comes out at this rate. So
maybe not. Who knows? Maybe a new king. They got a lot going on.
Yeah,
There's a lot of change happening over there.
Oh yeah. But anyway, yeah, no man, if you would like to come back, I had a lot of fun in the 30 minutes that we were here. I would love obviously to have you back.
Yes.
And yeah, so really quick before we wrap up, where can people find you, follow you? Tell me like, briefly a little bit about the special and where to find that too.
Yes, the special is what it was really cool. The production company were really cool. They gave us some money and they let us make this cool art wrap we have this very, very funny stand-up special and we got to wrap it in this like trippy DMT art piece.
So that's what that is. Because I've seen the Instagram video that you've had, and it's like, it fades between you wearing different outfits and like looking around like, oh, where am I kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to make this trippy. My director, John Diaz, he's like a real ass director. He's not just like pointing a camera at a dude standing there, which is so he's like can do magic and he made me all vulnerable and stuff and challenged me. And then so we got this cool art piece they let us make. And then Luther Dickinson from the North Mississippi All Stars, he did some trippy music for us, and it's special. And it's coming out November 17th. If you Google Billy Wayne Davis Testify, it'll come up. You can watch it live premiere online with everybody on November 17th, and then we'll have a Q&A afterwards. If you go to bwdtour.com, all my stuff's there. So just in the Testifies, there's a link to getting all that information. So you guys just holler at it. Thank you.
Right on, man. Yeah, I will definitely be tuning in. I think it's only like $5 for the Q&A, so I'm most likely you'll hear my voice again very soon, I think.
And who knows I might be hanging out with just stoned out of our minds. So that'll be worth. Yeah, you get to ask me and my friends some dumb questions.
I hope so. Yeah, that's well worth the cost of admission there. So yeah, you guys know where to find the show. I may do a little bit more outro after this, but Billy Wayne, Reverend Doctor, thank you so much for coming on.
Till next time.
Yeah, until next time. And Backsheads, thanks for listening. And just like that, Billy Wayne was gone in a puff of smoke, which kind of smelled funny, but I'm not going to overanalyze that. In any case, as he said, check out his new special coming out on the 17th, 2 days from when this drops. And check us out on social media. If you're new to the show, if you're an old head, whatever, our handles haven't changed. It is at flagged4 content on Instagram and Twitter. I think it's the same on TikTok. If not that, it's an FOR, but just search and you'll find us. I'm starting to do a lot more cool stuff on there and got a few big things in the works. And check us out on YouTube, which you probably are already on. So with all that said, I have never known how to close the show, and I don't think that's going to start now. So thanks for watching, y'all, and yeah.